Oh, hey everybody, it's Chimichanga the Fox. Happy Wonderin Wednesday. As I promised earlier this week, today is the day where I get to answer your questions, and you sent me a load of questions this week. And as the weather is not too wet, we're in between rain spells, I decided that I was going to answer your questions outside. I have a whole host here written on my iPad. Yep, I've gone into the 21st century. So, the first question here is from Cutie Fox again, and he wants to know what my favorite food is. Well, you know, man, I'd like to say it's something involving lots and lots of rich meats and stuff, but actually, I'm kind of partial to salad sandwiches. Yeah, I really like salad, and I also like sushi. But I gotta admit, I also like ribs, especially if they're accompanied with fries and a good steak sauce. Oh, it's gone upside down. Oh, Tacit the Terra wants to know what my opinion of NSFW stuff is in the fandom. In other words, stuff that's kind of adult. Well, Tacit, personally, I don't like that kind of shit. I mean, that kind of stuff. I mean, whatever floats your boat, man. We live in a free country and all that. But I've got a kid. I try and keep it clean. Keep it real, you know? Okay, yes, I curse. But generally, I try to keep it really, really clean. Because there's just too much clean, green stuff to have in the fandom without all of that extra stuff. If you want to do what you want to do behind closed doors at the end of the day, in private with another consenting adult, fine, be my guest. Just don't expect me to be part of it. Okay, SIRR says, why do I wear goggles sometimes? Man, I ride a motorcycle. Have you ever tried riding a motorcycle while squinting? My goggles keep me safe, and also I'm a little bit of a steampunk underneath, because, you know, I'm good friends with QueenieDeerhart, and she is a total steampunk. Like, she's 100 and some years old, man. Do you understand how old that is? I got it from her, okay? And the LED goggles, I got those recently at the Rose City Comic-Con, and I love them. They're great. So, you know, I wear them when I can. Unknown Astronaut wants to know what my most embarrassing and most terrifying moment is. Well, my most embarrassing moment is probably going out with my flies down, you know, just like any other guy. I gotta admit, it's happened way too much. And it's worse when there's that person that, you know, that special person tells you, you just feel so embarrassed, especially when you're trying to date them. And my most terrifying moment was probably at the Rose City Comic-Con, when I had someone come up to me and was petting some of my friends inappropriately, and, well, I just wanted to punch him, actually. But, it was kind of terrifying, because I didn't really know what to do next. And, finally... Oh, yeah. Aki Rain says, what food do you prepare for performing with? You know, what kind of food do you have when you want to perform? Well, oat bars, granola bars, that kind of stuff. Stuff that's going to give me slow release of energy throughout the day. Also, pasta the night before. It's like performing is like being an athlete. You have to prepare for it. Also, I find bananas just before I go out and do stuff gives me an extra energy boost. It's pretty neat. Well, that's all the questions I have time for, but you also asked some questions that I can't answer. So I'm going to hand over to Queenie, and she'll answer them for me. So until tomorrow, bye.
Thanks, Chimi. As always, you got all the cool questions. I have some questions to answer now that obviously Chimi couldn't answer, so I figure I might as well just go ahead and answer them as me. Tacit the Terror says, how and why did you become a fur? Lots of other people have asked the same question. In all honesty, it goes way back to when I was little. I think probably the Jungle Book has a lot to do with it, and Robin Hood, which is very cliched, I know, but sorry. I was born in the late 70s, so I was around at that time. My sister wanted to go and see the Jungle Book with her boyfriend. She's 10 years older than me, or this particular sister is 10 years older than me. She wanted to go and see the Jungle Book with her boyfriend on a date, and she didn't want to go on her own with him because, you know, 18-year-olds apparently going to see The Jungle Book was not cool, so they dragged me along as this sort of 9-10-year-old little kid, and I enjoyed it thoroughly and had a great time. Also, there was a book called The Owl Who Was Afraid of the Dark, which I really loved as a kid, and it was about this owl called Plop who was afraid of the dark, and he could talk, and he went and met this wonderful person who showed him all these lovely stars and things, Orion being the one that I remember most, the constellation of Orion that I remember from the book, and that also has stuck with me over the years, which is why one of the symbols that I really like, and you may see one day on a fursuit, is Orion's constellation. So that's kind of how I wasn't kind of out and loud and proud until I was at university, and then kind of discovered the furry fandom late 90s and been a card carrying member ever since. Haven't really been active in the fandom until like the last 5 years or so. So there you go. What inspired Chimichanga's design? Well, actually Chimichanga was an adopt from a friend of mine, Lumio Draco. He had that pre-made head that he purchased at a con and didn't use very much, and he needed someone for Pride to wear it, and I said, hey, I can do that. And if you've ever put a pre-made on before and just discovered a character, he just appeared. Chimichanga just appeared, and by the end of the day he had the name Chimichanga, and that came from the fact that a friend of mine, Kaka Barocci, who has his own pre-made secondary sona called Taka the Fox. He's very energetic and outgoing and lovable, and when I first got in Chimichanga, I behaved like a slightly older grown-up version of Taco, and so the name Chimichanga kind of stuck. How was his design inspired? Well, I can show you his ref sheet for the very first time, because the aforementioned Kaka Barocci, who you can find on FA, he has just completed Chimichanga's ref sheet. Full-blown Chimichanga ref sheet, and you'll see he's got markings on his back. That marking comes from the county of Norfolk, which is where I grew up, in East Anglia in the UK. That is part of, that's on the flag. That little motif is on the flag, repeated several times, and so that's on the back of Chimichanga, just to remind me where I come from, kind of my roots, so to speak. And obviously, why is he a fox? Because he was made like a fox. That's kind of all the questions I can answer right now. So thanks for watching today. There will hopefully be another video tomorrow. Thursday is my busiest day. Thursday and Friday at the end of the week. Can't promise videos, but I'll do my best. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thumb up, thumb down. Thanks to Chimichanga for the first bit. He did it far better than I am doing it now, but I'll be back hopefully tomorrow with another video. Bye.